Everyone, Tanya Wills from Manhattan Birth. I'm a midwife in New York City, and welcome back to the Cancer Project. Welcome back, everybody. I haven't been here on YouTube in a long time, but a lot of you have been asking for some updates, and some of you who have been asking for updates are cancer patients. So I realized that I probably could provide some useful information even though my treatment is over. So as you can see, I'm in a new place. It's actually still my same apartment. This is my new office. So I have a plant, and we'll see if I can keep it alive. But it's still the same apartment. I'm still in the same place. So just as a general update, I feel good. I feel pretty good. I feel really good. There have been enormous changes for me over the past year. It's been about a year since my radiation finished. That was the last bit of my active treatment. And then after radiation, I started taking an aromatase inhibitor called exemestane, and then every month I get Lupron shots. And now that I've been on that medication for a year, I can definitely talk to you about that in case you're in a situation where you had estrogen positive cancer and they're talking to you about tamoxifen versus an aromatase inhibitor versus premenopausal versus postmenopausal and all that stuff. So radiation finished about a year ago, and I felt really good during radiation. I mean, radiation is one of these things where it takes 5 minutes to get treated. I went first thing in the morning and it was really amazing, and I would just go in and change and get my radiation, and then it was over. So that was great. What happened to me after radiation finished was that I started having a lot of pain, and I started having pain specifically in my hips and my knees, but it really was sitting in my hips, so getting up from the seated position was really, really difficult for me. I'd be riding in the back of a Via and my stop would come, and in my mind I was like, okay, I have to get up and it's gonna be really hard and my legs aren't gonna work. It was really painful, and I decided that I was gonna call my doctor to talk to her about it, and she sent me for an MRI, which really scared the crap out of me. Fortunately, the MRI was clear, so that was really good news. And you know, everybody told me it's from the Taxol. The Taxol sits in your joints, and you can have tendinopathy and some issues that come after having Taxol that eventually will heal over time. And that is exactly what happened. I still have a lot of pain in my joints. I'll talk with you about that on another video when we talk about the exemestane that I take and the side effects that come from that. So my hips got better, which was amazing. And I think for me this year, one of the biggest things that I have learned is that recovering from cancer treatment is a huge job. There are some days where I felt so good and I just wanted my life back. And then there are other days where I'm in so much pain, or I felt like I was never gonna get any better, or my breast was hurting, or I just couldn't remember things or anything like that. And those were some pretty major setbacks. But a few months ago, it occurred to me that my hips got better, my shoulders getting better. All these things are improving. Sometimes the pain kind of moves around, but the point is this: chemo is no joke. I tolerated chemo really well. I slept a lot. I had an enormous amount of support. It was really great. And then it took and I think my body is still just trying to get back to some kind of new baseline. There's a limited amount of poison in your body, radiation, or whatever it is. And the time that it takes to heal from that is a very long time. But our bodies are resilient and we can heal from them. Yes, there can be long-term side effects, and I'm sure that I will have some of them, but knowing that I had stage 2 cancer taken out of my body and then the rest of my body systemically treated is enormously comforting to me with the aches and pains that I experience on a regular basis. I would say that as time has gone on this year, I feel like I've become less and less terrorized by the aches and pains that I feel. So when I first got diagnosed with cancer, which was in October of 2018, my therapist said to me that many people that he has known and that he's read about actually come through cancer treatment and feel like it was evidence of their strength. They are much stronger for having gone through it. I would say if you had told me that, which he did tell me that in October of 2018, I was so devastated that I just didn't see how that would ever be possible. How I just felt that I would live the rest of my life not only in fear of the cancer, but also feeling that the cancer was somehow proof that what I was doing with my life was not good enough. I don't feel that way anymore. In fact, I feel quite the opposite. I feel strong and I don't have to prove it to anybody. I see people around me that I work with, especially in the birth world, the imbalance of self-worth or lack of self-worth and self-esteem and things like this. And I recognize it as something that I very much had at play with most of my decision making. That's not there anymore, and when it is there, when it does like kind of rear its ugly head, I can call it out for what it is, which is not true. I do feel that I've definitely like arrived, like feet on the ground, like I feel like I have a value for life, an inner knowing that I couldn't have had before. It's not to say that other people don't have experiences that, you know, gain an inner knowing for themselves, but for me, this is just, I'm speaking of my own experience. And so there definitely were blessings that came out of this experience that I can't say I'm not grateful for the blessings that I got. Some of that might be because now I'm in menopause, and so I don't know if that's just like a maturing that happens or if it's because of the experience, like we don't know. In any case, I have definitely had like a psychic change that has happened within me over the last year as I've stepped back into everyday living. And I am very deeply grateful for that. I don't really have all the words to describe it, but there's definitely like a before Tanya and there's an after Tanya. And I know, like, I can see things the old me would have done or said. I'm in the post-cancer Tanya and I'm different. I'm just different. One of the things that I say to people is that it's really hard to describe what has happened. I don't really have the words for it, but I'm gonna do my very best. If you're going through cancer treatment right now, or you just got diagnosed and somebody sent you to my videos and you happened upon this one, I'll say to you what my friend Tracy Fama said to me as soon as I was diagnosed, and she was the only one who said this to me: you will be okay. You will be okay. And I needed to hear that, and if you need to hear it right now, I just want to tell you, I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know what's going to happen, but you will be okay. I hope that's helpful. Stay tuned. I'll have a separate video here to talk about my hair growth. I'll have a video to talk about my radiation, a video to talk about exemestane and the side effects that come with it, and a video to talk about depression and what happens after you have cancer treatment, and I hope that you find it helpful. In the meantime, we are in the time of COVID-19. New York City as a whole has PTSD. So it's just adding to the PTSD that I already had after my cancer treatment, which I'll talk more about in other videos. But in any case, stay safe, stay well, more soon.